mom and my sister. But tonight we will be staying boondocking actually at a Harvest Host in Monticello.
It's called Golden Acres Farm, and they are a goat farm. They also have some other small livestock like donkeys and miniature horses and chickens. So I have never stayed there before, but I've heard good reviews on it and looking forward to staying there. And it's out just north of Monticello, almost to the Georgia line. So it ought to be a nice, quiet, and peaceful place.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, Monticello is in Jefferson County, and Thomas Jefferson's estate was called Monticello.
That is interesting.
That may be why they named this town that. This is the county seat of the county, Jefferson County. Just a little bit of useless information. Useless trivia.
How did you know that?
What, that it was Jefferson County?
No, that,
Thomas Jefferson's estate's called Monticello.
yeah.
I paid attention in history class.
So we are here at the Golden Acres Ranch, I guess, instead of farm, and we're getting ready to walk into their country store and see what they have in there. So there's a lot of neat stuff inside their country store that they have. The owner here is actually from Lakeland. Her name is Bobby Golden. She and her husband run the place, and they've been here for how long? Since 20 years?
Not 20 years.
20 years. And their little general store just contains all sorts of handmade products, including honey and pottery, wool. And they have some dryer balls that are made from sheep's wool. It's kind of interesting. And she gave us a taste of their Mayhaw jelly, and they have some other jellies here too. So just a quaint little place to come. She has festivals here during the year. She's fixing to take us on a tour of the rest of their farm. Yeah, we got some North Wildflower honey, North Florida Wildflower honey, and our Mayhaw jelly.
One of the things about Harvest Host is even though it's free to stay here for the night, they do ask, and it's not a bad idea, to support your local businesses. So most of them have little stores, or they have some kind of attraction. So whether it's a museum or a winery or brewery, so it's just nice to support the local businesses and owners of the Harvest Host places. So I mean, if you're going to get product and you're going to eat anyway, you might as well get some product from your Harvest Host.
Right, exactly. They're willing to open up their home for RVers to stay here, so it's a good idea to support their business here.
Now, I don't know how much you know about farming or not, so if I'm telling you stuff you know, you can just tell me.
Well, my husband Paul, he taught agriculture in the classroom for How long? 29 years?
I've been in the classroom 29 years.
Okay. Well, good. We can compare notes. So our Great Pyrenees, they instinctively guard. They were brought from the Great Pyrenees Mountains between Spain and France, and they were bred to guard royalty's children. So it's instinctive for them to guard whatever they're put with. So, and we use them all for livestock. And this is a father and a son. This little boy here to my left is blind.
Oh.
But his senses are good enough and that he can still do the guarding and whatever.
Okay.
And so they're out 24/7 and this is their job. And we do honey, the one I was just talking about. She's our breeding female and we'll breed her one more time and then we'll spay her because she's had enough. But yeah, she'll come visit.
honey.
She's real sweet.
Hey, girl.
But we sell the puppies, but we only sell them for working dogs. We don't sell them for pets because they don't like to be in buildings and be confined. They're not. While they'll come up to us and let you scratch their ears and pet them and that type of thing, they're not people dependent at all. Those little short trees you see there in the background, those are the Mayhaw trees.
Oh, okay.
And the Mayhaw trees grow in this agricultural, this zone 8.
I gather they lose their leaves in
Yes,
the fall.
right. And the leaves have turned gray, though. If we get a good windstorm, it'll blow them all off. And then the trees are just real gnarly and interesting looking. But this is a natural stand. Probably birds dropped seeds here 80, 90 years ago, and they just started growing up, and it was moist enough that they germinated, so they grew up. The trees, I understand, live about 50 years, but they keep putting up seedlings, and there's close to 200 trees in there.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
during a
really
good year, we'll get 800 pounds of Mayhaws. So now these grow North Florida, South Georgia, and this strip that goes through Louisiana. Louisiana for years was way well known for Mayhaws. That was a big product for them. And short ways into Texas. But then all these hurricanes we've had in the last 10 years have pretty well wiped out their trees. The Mayhaw is named Mayhaw because it's harvested in May. And then the haw is the shortened version of the hawthorn, which is your apple and your rose. So it gets a white bloom and it's got thorns and that type of thing. And then these are our Tennessee painting goats, which is a misnomer because they don't faint. What they are is they're myotonic goats, and myotonia means muscle spasm. And so if something startles them, could be a loud car backfire, it could be somebody drop a bucket, it could be one of them stand there eating and the other one butts it, and they'll stiffen, and if they're out of balance, then they'll fall over. They're very sweet, and they don't tear up their shelters, they don't tear up fences. If you go in there, they're not going to run and butt you or do anything like that. It's not their nature to do that. So it makes them very pleasant for people that want to have pets. And all of these, as you can tell, probably by looking at these, they're going to have, a good many of them are going to have kids in next month. It's 5 months gestation, and we put the buck in August. But they're great mamas. They're also, the advantage to them is they are parasite resistant, so that we do very little deworming. The majority we sell, a few to people, family with children, but the majority we sell to adults. And these are people that have gotten their 5 or 10 acres in the rural area, and now they want some livestock. And goats are just an easy keeper. So
What's your main issue or problem that you have that you need the guard dogs? Is it coyotes?
yes,
Okay.
you have coyotes and then the neighbor's dog. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
just because Fluffy sleeps with your little Johnny or Millie, that doesn't mean they're not going to kill livestock. They will.
Yeah.
Especially if they get a pair of them get out. These two over here are what they call a Nigerian dwarf, and they were someone's pets, and they're technically in the dairy goat family. because a lot of people have Nubians and Nigerians that they milk. Well, goats, I've got both goats and sheep. We have sheep out here, and I'm often asked which is my favorite. Well, I will say the goats. They've got more personality. They're seem to me to be a little smarter. These goats will learn their names. They'll be out there, and I can call, Suzette or Babette or somebody, and they'll put their head up and come marching in.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Well, we're here still at Golden Acres Farm in Monticello, and we took the tour yesterday. And this morning we're just up. It's a nice, cool, brisk morning, and we're taking a walk down to the road that comes in here, so it's probably about a half-mile walk.
Well, you never know who you're going to meet or when you're going to meet somebody that's very interesting. You meet all kinds of people when you're traveling on the road. But we got to the end of the drive here on our harvest host, and out walks this old gentleman from the woods. And no lie, he says, "Oh, I bet you didn't expect to see a booger coming out of the woods."
It's definitely interesting, old gentleman.
And the road, the name of the road that you have to turn down is called Barnes Road. Well, that was Mr. Barnes that we met, and the road was named after his family. He had been here, born in the house, the old house that he lives in now, in the early 1900s anyway. His dad was born there, he and his brothers were born there. And so this old gentleman had all kinds of neat stories. And I'll bet we stood there with him for about at least 45 minutes, a good 45 minutes. And he's just telling us about his life here and there. So you meet some very interesting people.
You know, that's a nice thing about traveling. And if you just take your time, don't set your time schedule so rigid that you don't have time to stop, meet folks, talk to them, because you're going to learn all kinds of things, whether it's the history of the area or just get to talk to somebody that may not have anybody else to talk to. So always take time to get to meet people, know people, and to share with people.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes when you meet those type of people, it's a divine appointment, because only God can orchestrate something like that. Hey y'all, thanks for watching our video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, The Go with the Flow Couple. Bye y'all.